Welcome to Healing Childhood Trauma, the podcast for millennial women who are ready to heal from the past. Here, we have the deeper discussions on emotional well-being and practical tips that will empower you to transform your relationships and underlying anxiety from insecure to secure attachment. I'm Lysandra, your host and psychotherapist. I'm a little bit obsessed with human development, deep conversations, and finding the lesson even in the most challenging of circumstances. I'm very happy to have you with me on this journey of self-discovery where we unpack the past and heal in the present. Winter is coming. If you two are a Game of Thrones fan, you're going to totally get the reference. If not, my friend, you're not going to get it. But this episode is going to help you if you want to get some tips around how you can look after your mental health this winter. Or any winter, really, depending on when you listen to it. So this is not a summertime or springtime episode. This is for the dark, cold days where there is just minimal to no sunlight and we are not out having barbecues. We are not drinking rosé wine. We're not at brunches in the daytime. There's no beach trips. We are in the depths of winter, okay? And with that, sometimes you can also suffer with seasonal affective disorder, which is having a much lower mood in the winter months due to the lack of sunlight and the very dark, gloomy days. And it's literally something anyone can suffer with. And especially people who have also low vitamin D levels or lower vitamin D levels, which is pretty much most people most of the time, especially if you have darker skin or you are from much warmer climates originally. And the lack of sunlight and the lack of daylight can really have an impact on mental health. And so I'm just going to give you a few tips that you can integrate, take what works and leave what doesn't. But it can help you if you have noticed that your mental health tends to decline in the winter. You tend to go more into yourself, you become more reclusive, you become less connected, you become more withdrawn, you become lower in your mood. It feels much harder to stay motivated or to complete anything, and the same things that used to bring you joy just doesn't feel the same anymore. Everything just feels flat or nothing brings you that kind of energy anymore. And although we might not be able to change our situation, like we can't change winter unless we, go on holiday, that might not be accessible for you. I think these are all tips that you can use, even if you don't have seasonal affective disorder, even if it's just about maintaining your well-being and mental health during the winter months and just noticing what that difference is within yourself. I think that can be really useful. And so I've already mentioned about vitamin D levels. That's probably a very good place to start, is to actually check what your vitamin D levels are. Because if you are low on vitamin D, then that's also going to play a big part in your mood and also your physical well-being as well. Just making sure that if you are low on vitamin D and you need a supplement, that you are getting the supplement that you need, especially if you cannot get natural sunlight, which is usually a very big problem in winter. It's a very big problem for me. It's a very big problem for most of us in the UK. If you are listening from the UK, how are you doing? Are you bearing up? It's getting very, very cold outside now. Even at the time of recording, it's not official. Well, actually, no, it is. It's officially winter because we have recently entered into daylight saving times, literally this weekend. But you will not be listening to this that soon because it takes me a minute to download or rather upload the episode, edit them, and all of that stuff that does all the bells and whistles to actually get it out to you. Anywho, winter tips. I'll just go through a few things that have helped me and has also helped some of my clients who also go through seasonal affective disorder or SAD. So I'll just say SAD if I say that word again because it's a mouthful. It's just some tips that has helped them when they feel lower or if they have either mild depression or different types of depression. Having a routine can help, and I think sometimes adjusting what your routine is. And so in the summer, you might have a very different routine because of just it's warmer weather, you want to be outside more, you might walk more, you might exercise more outside, and so your fitness or your well-being or just your day-to-day can look very different from the summer and winter months. And it's almost like it can be helpful to have a different type of routine according to what your body needs in winter, because we have very different physical needs in the summer months, and we might not need to go as hard with our exercise routines in the winter. It might be more about more gentle ways of being connected with your body or staying fit. It might be more about like dance classes or Pilates, reformer, yoga, more things that are inside, obviously, because it's fucking cold outside, isn't it? We don't want to we don't want to freeze our asses off when we're going for a run. Or is that just me? Not that I run, but there you go. So yeah, changing your routine and maybe just having a difference of this is what you do in the summer, but then this is what you do in the winter, when it's more about hibernation, it's more about recuperation, locking in, staying warm, staying cozy, all of that good stuff. The last couple of winters, and also I've been recommending to my clients to use artificial vitamin D light. Even though it's artificial vitamin D, your body doesn't recognize the difference between artificial. Obviously, the real sunlight is going to be like way better. But a lot of studies and research has been done that it's actually good enough and a good replacement to have when you don't have natural sunlight. So all you have to do is have them on your face for about 10 to 20 minutes a day. And you can just have it on while you're working or while you're getting ready for work, or just at various points in the day when you can feel like your mood and your energy is dipping. That can also be really helpful too. Also, I think we all know this. We all know that having a good balanced diet is better for us. But it becomes even more important during those months when we might already be feeling quite low. Think about how you can incorporate more balanced meals with a lot more like protein, more whole grains, more omega-3s, and try to avoid overly relying on over-processed foods. As much as you might tend to disconnect, it's also really important that you maintain your social connections and try not to self-isolate too much, because we need some of that connection and human connection. It's important for our well-being, it's important for our mental health. So also try to bear that in mind and to not just have this pattern of wake up, go to work, come home, rinse and repeat. Because the more that you repeat that kind of pattern, the more easier it is to dip into lower moods and feeling disconnected from your relationships. And maybe this could also be a good time to take up more practices like mindfulness or journaling, things that help you to become more reflective. And it's just a way of you, I suppose, just like recalibrating over the winter. So it's not just about restoring yourself, it's also thinking about what's going to happen when that winter slump starts to lift. What are some of the things that you want to do? What are some of the things that you want to experience? It can also be a really good outlet for you to actually express emotions and for you to be more connected with your emotions and your feelings, rather than self-isolating and then keeping those bottled up or repressed. And if you do feel like you need more support, don't be afraid to reach out for support from a therapist or a GP who can help you to discuss strategies, talk about therapy, or even possibly medication. Going on medication, if it's something that you need, isn't anything to be ashamed of. It's a good option to have and a good option to know it's there if you need it. If you do feel like your mood is getting very low and you've got a real persistent low mood and a loss of interest in things, that can be helpful to know that that option is available to you. Okay, this was a very quick tips episode. Let me know if this was helpful, and if you want more episodes that are very quick, very short, focused. Catch you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you for joining this episode of Healing Childhood Trauma. I hope you found today's discussion insightful and empowering. Remember, healing is a journey and you are not alone on this path. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favourite podcast platform. And you can share this episode with a friend. Your feedback helps this podcast to reach more women who are ready to heal and build secure, healthy relationships and heal from the past.